Guten Tag. Guten Tag, Germany. It's somewhere, I don't know where the camera is. Somewhere there. Okay, so Guten Tag in Berlin, and bonjour and hi to everybody here. So my presentation, I don't know if the presentation will be there.
Yeah, we see it. We see it.
You see it. Okay, not me. So that's good. So my presentation will have mainly two parts. The first part will be aims to positioning AI within the huge number of technology within the digital context. And so the first part will be more educational or more pedagogical one. The second one will present the ecosystem of Montreal by the means of three major institutes. So the outline, I already talked about that. So what's behind these words? Artificial intelligence, big data, industry 4.0, digital revolution, deep learning, machine learning. So what we have behind? So first, the fundamentals. We have to remain and to understand the real fundamentals between these revolutions. The first one is the computing power. Today, 100,000 times faster than 20 years ago with the GPU. And the GPU is the CPU behind the deep learning. So the algorithm that we have today, we had it 20 years ago, but it took 10,000 years to train an algorithm instead of 1 week, 2 weeks. That's a big difference. Second one, telecommunication network, 5G, an exponential growth in terms of storage of transmission of information. Third one is software engineering. We have to remain that if we are here today, it's because of a lot of improvement in software engineering, including agile development and so on. And the last one, and certainly not the least, is the availability today of data. Data. We're talking about a zettabyte of data. It's very big zeta. It's 10 to the power 21. It's a lot of zero with a 1 before. And you can see on the chart, we are not at the right, we are right in the middle. So the increasing of data will be there. And that's estimate of zettabyte of data exclude all the private data within industries within the Internet of Things. But we also face an outstanding convergence of innovation partners. The number of digital technologies that came out from Fraunhofer, from our university, our research center are incredible. 3D printing, 5G, augmented reality, robotic, AI, cloud computing. Now it's almost a commodity. At the same time, the demand from the market is incredible. Every sector is touched today by the digital, any sector, including politics, we have seen in US. And finally, and this is very important, the stakeholders are there, VCs are there, government are there, we have seen with the two previous presentations, money are there, and within an innovation framework, which is very agile. We can today develop a new Amazon in our garage. So this is a very wonderful, outstanding, or perfect storm for the development of digital. But where is AI within that? At the end, what we want to do is to create value for the society, for societies, for enterprise, industry, and the society in general. But we want to create value. AI is nothing else than a technology, a new one. And we are with guys from Germany. You know what is Industry 4.0, manufacturing. The creation of value takes place in three axes. The first one, which the more evident, is the productivity. Reducing costs, be more efficient to produce your product. This is by using digitalization. This is true with supply chain, for example. The second one, which is a little bit more difficult, is to create new digital, new numerical products. If we think about the autonomous car, this is a new numerical product. And the third one, which is probably the most difficult, is to create the new business model. Uber, Amazon, they are new business model based on. This is the goal. At the outside of the layer, you can see all these technologies. And AI is one of these technologies. But we have it, Internet of Things, 3D, augmented reality, all this. But for creating value between these technology and the real creation of value is through data and analytics. These 2 points are the core capability of creation of value. And this is exactly where Montreal is quite strong. We have expertise in these 3 analytics, advanced analytics: descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics, from data to decision making. Descriptive analytics is mathematics, is statistic. Statistics will remain in the future. Predictive analytics is more close to what we talk about AI. It's deep learning, machine learning. It's to predict based on data, based on past. And prescriptive is to take decision. Only predicting something is good, but it's not enough. So from data to decision making, this is the real value of AI today. So what's happened in Montreal, and this is not the last one, we have to update these slides every day, but in the last 2 years only, more than $2 billion of investment in Montreal. Not in Canada, but only in Montreal, around these advanced analytics, around this AI. It starts with, at the left, with the funding of IVADO. IVADO is, well, I will present it later, but with a budget of $250 million. It's an academic institute with strong collaboration of industry. To the extreme right, with the announcement of Scale AI and IVADO Labs, including the creation of MILA. MILA already exists, but now as the Machine Learning Institute of Quebec, with an investment of more than $100 million from the Quebec government. So I will just present 2 of them. And this afternoon, you will visit Scale AI. So the guy from Scale AI and IVADO Labs will present in more detail what is Scale AI. But IVADO and IVADO Labs, Scale AI. IVADO, well, first, why Montreal? Because it is a unique synergy between these analytics. And this is probably the only place in the world that we have these synergies. Singapore are very strong in OR. Some other places are very strong in machine learning. But all this synergy, Montreal is, well, among the 2-3 best in the world. So it's a synergy between deep learning, machine learning, and operational research. So IVADO, it's a quite big budget for a university institute, research institute. It's about $250 million, half and half private one and public one from Quebec and federal government. We include more today, close to 100 industrial and institutional partners. We merge together 1,150 scientists in these algorithms, the intelligence algorithm frames. That include more than 700 PhD, all in the same locations. But IVADO is not a research institute. It federates 6 research institutes and 3 departments. Our scientific director and co-director are Yoshua Bengio, that you certainly knows. This is also the scientific director of MILA, and MILA is one of the 6 research institute that we federate, and Andrea Lodzi, which is the chairholder of the Canadian Excellence Chair on Data Science for Real-Time Decision Making. And this is the only chair among the 20 that federal government fund on mathematics and computer science. These are our 2 scientific leaders. So what we are doing at IVADO, well, a third of the budget goes to fundamental research. We are far away from the autonomous robot with intentions. A lot of research remains to be done. And a third of our budget goes to fundamental research and increasing the number of PhD students. We should raise up to 1,000 PhD students within the next 3 years in stationary, so that means a lot of students. The second third goes to collaborative research with industries, with our partners. And in 4 main sectors, it's writing in French, but it's transportation, mobility, in energy, in finance, and in health. So we are working to build collaborative research with our partners. And the last third goes to knowledge mobilization, education, training, and entrepreneurship. These, in the first line, our research center that we federate, MILA, Tech3Lab, CIREL, GERAD. These centers for GERAD and CIREL exist for the last 45 years, so it's not new. Of course, we cannot bring together 1,000 scientists in few years. It's like a lot of time. And you can see also as international partners that ZIP is there. It's Zeus Institute of Berlin, and we are working with them on energy management. And this is our, in date of the day, industrial members that we have. Of course, many of company you don't know, but some other you know, of SNCF, Keolis, Thales, Denso, Bombardier, CEA, and so on. So some of them are international partners also. What? Now, Scale AI. Scale AI, it's a different. We are at the academic level with strong collaboration with industry. This is IVADO. Scale AI is an industrial consortium with strong collaboration with industry. So it's a little bit more advanced in terms of TRL, technology readiness level. It's the result of federal government, the Innovation Supercluster Initiative that was launched 1.5 years ago, competitions, and 60 applications has been received. At the end, 5 has been retained. One of them was Scale AI. So it was a budget of $1 billion from the government. 230 goes to Scale AI. It was an industry-led supercluster around a technology, not necessarily supply chain. It was about a sector, a domain, and the aim was to developing an ecosystem and drive economic output of these investments. So Scale AI is one of them. It's focused on supply chain driving by digital, but mainly by algorithms, intelligence algorithms, AI. So the technological foundation is AI techniques, with a S at techniques, from machine learning to operational research, but integrating also this enabling technology, Internet of Things, blockchain, robotics. Of course, it's part of the supply chain. The functional foundation is to develop industrial application to supply chains. And this is very focusing. The roadmap. So are these about $750 million of project will be divided. About half of them will be collaborative research within a subset of industry, 2, 3, 4, 5, to develop some platforms. The other 50% will go through a roadmap that the consortium decide to develop together. The strong encourage is in Quebec and in Ontario. About 65% of the budget will be spent in Canada, in Quebec, and the other 35% in Ontario. So it's a very strong collaboration within industries and academics from IVADO, Université Laval, and campus of University of Montreal, and Waterloo, because University of Waterloo brings a lot of knowledge in these enabling technology, Internet of Things, blockchains, and so on. These are the 120 partners of this very large consortium, and you can see that. IVADO Labs is the execution arms of Scale AI. So it's a center of expertise to help to develop these new technologies for supply chains. It's all these, I will summarize. So it's a world-class leaders in machine learning and logistic optimization. They also offer within these IVADO Labs, and you will see that if Scale AI has a development project, we'll have personal from the industry that will be put together with personnel from IVADO Labs to work together. So this is the best technological transfer that we can do for the industry. And it's a mix of business and savvy technologists with very good expertise in supply chain. So from AI advisory to blueprint to proof of concept and a lot of loop to the minimal value project up to date. It's an agile approach. It's not an academic one. When you work with the PhD students, it's for 3 years. Here, they will separate the project into 1 month, 6 weeks to readjust as fast as possible. This is different than the academic one. So, in conclusion, all of this is based on funding from both government and private. IVADO, it's for next 6 years funding. We are working on TRL, technology readiness level 1 to 5, up to proof of concept in an academic context. So with a guarantee of means, it's an academic government with strong collaboration of industry. The supercluster Scale AI and IVADO Labs is a non-profit organization driven by industry with strong collaboration of academic. They are working on TRL 4 to 9, so proof of concept to commercialization. A total budget that can go up ultimately to $1 billion. At minimum, it's $600 million. And it focuses on supply chains, driving by advanced analytics. Retails and manufacturing are the two main verticals, and they work on guarantee of result, not guarantees of means. And I conclude my last slide on Germany-Canada collaborations. I think the ambassador, the consul already talked about the possibility, and we work first in this domain. 80% of our graduate students at master level and PhD students are from abroad. So it's already international in terms of research. 70% of our scientific papers are writing or co-author with internationals. And we already have a German partners with the ZIB Institute in Berlin. In terms of larger collaboration, and I think Etienne will present it later, the project deal. So we are working with Toulouse, ERT Saint-Exupéry, CRIAC, LAS, and IVADO to work a very large project, around $30 million, including 12 industries, 4 from Canada side, aid from France mainly. About what? About the explicability and certifiability of AI critical system. So we mentioned a little bit about that, but Etienne will present it. So it's possible. It took about 1.5 years to build this project. Now it's a 5 years large project funded by Canadian government and French governments and industrial. And of course, it's not necessary to be big. It can be smaller. Industry from Germany, industry from Canada, with the academic team from both sides. We have money. The money of industry can cross the Atlantic. Money from the government, it's a little bit more difficult, but we can build something with that. So thank you very much. And something big is happening in Montreal. Thank you.